Artzooka!
Hey, I'm Jeremie. Let's Artzooka. Have you ever seen one of these? I found this at a dollar store. It cracks me up. The speaker at the end of the handle talks when it moves quickly.
Gotcha.
When I saw this at the store, I thought, this is what I need to make a door alarm. That way, if somebody opens the door to my studio, I'll know. The first thing we need to do is disguise the alarm so that it looks like a nice artistic decoration that hangs from the doorknob. And then when somebody opens the door, the alarm will go off. I'm going to disguise my alarm as a hot air balloon. Let's make it. To make my hot air balloon, I'm going to use a couple of pieces of fabric. All I have to do now is draw out my balloon shape. So I'll start the shape on this blue piece of fabric. When you're making out the shape, make sure it's slightly larger than you actually want your balloon to be. Right there. And I'm going to make it come all the way up like that. Now check this out. Instead of drawing it on both pieces of fabric, I'll keep it on one. And then, with my scissors, I'll just make the cut on both pieces. Almost there. With a little bit of fabric glue, glue them together. Now I just want to make one nice long solid glue line all along the edge, just like this. There we go. But you'll notice that I'm not gluing the bottom. And then I just take my other piece of fabric and put it on top, kind of like a fabric sandwich. And we just don't want to eat it. Now, once all your glue is in place, we set it off to dry, and it'll look a little bit like this one that I did earlier. Because it's dry, I want to turn it inside out to give it a nice finish. And to do that, I just take my fingers, put them right inside like this. And it's kind of like a little finger puppet. Give me hot air! No! Okay, so I grab the top and pull it through. Just like that. And just give it a little shake. And now it's inside out. It gives it a nice even seam and no one will be able to tell where you glued it. Now once it's turned inside out, what we want to do is make a pinch right here and cut a small hole. So let's do it on the black side. I'll cut right there. And then put my scissors in like this and cut a straight line. And we just want to have enough room so that a doorknob can actually fit right in here, and then it will be able to hang off your doorknob. Now that I have the balloon, I need a basket, someplace to hold and hide the alarm. I'm going to use a small cardboard box that I found, but you can use whatever you like. I just need to decorate it and attach it to the balloon. Check this out. I made this one earlier, and I made my basket look like it's woven. Then attached it to the balloon with some strings. Remember that fly swatter? I've taken off the little speaker, and look at this. It fits perfectly right in here. And now we'll see if it works.
Gotcha.
Hey, it works!
Gotcha.
Well, no, I'm allowed in here. I put you there.
Gotcha.
A door alarm disguised as a hot air balloon. Isn't that great? I started with a novelty fly swatter, the kind that talks when it moves.
Gotcha.
You'll need to cut off the end part. That's the speaker. I cut a balloon shape out of 2 pieces of fabric and glued them together. When the glue dries, you can turn it inside out and it looks much smoother. I cut a slit in the balloon so it can hang from the doorknob. You can make a basket for your balloon out of cardboard or even a small cardboard box. I decorated my basket using more strips of cardboard and attached the balloon with some string. Then I put the speaker from the fly swatter inside. I hung the disguised balloon and basket on my door, so when the door opens, the speaker moves,
Gotcha.
the alarm goes off, and I know someone is coming. We have this project and lots more at artzooka.com.
Artzooka! Art?
Silhouettes.
Have you ever left a sandwich out too long and it gets hard? I left my lunchbox in here a million years ago. It's probably turned to stone. Ah, here it is. Whoa, it has turned to stone. Yeah, okay, I'm joking. How's this for a cool lunchbox? Let's make some rocks. To make your rock lunchbox look like a rock, get some newspaper and some masking tape and start balling up the newspaper to add some rock shape to the box. And then once I have it in place, I just tape it. There we go. I'll add another one right here. And we'll add one more just for good measure. Tape the newspaper until you've completely covered the paper and the rest of the box. Tape it, and tape it. When you're taping your box, make sure you don't put the tape on the seal of the box or else you won't be able to get it open. Don't forget to tape the bottom as well. You don't want yellow plastic sticking out of your rock. You don't need to put newspaper on this part, but you do need to cover it with tape. And when I'm finished taping it, it'll look like this one I did earlier. Now I'm ready to paint. I'm going to start with a flat gray paint as my base color. I'm gonna paint the entire thing this one color. So I'll take a big brush so it makes it easier, and I'll just start covering the whole thing. This is a nice rock looking gray. That's a good color to start off with. Not only am I going to paint the top, but I'll also paint the sides. And once it dries, it'll look like this. Now to rockify this. My rock is going to be mostly gray, but if you look at rocks like these, they're all different colors. There are red rocks, yellow rocks. They also have lots of different lines and textures. First thing I want to do is take a little bit of black paint, and with a very thin brush, I'm just going to paint a few rock lines. These lines are just to highlight the bumpy parts on our lunchbox. And here's a little tip. Keep all of the lines going in mostly the same direction. They can squiggle back and forth, but we don't want them crisscrossing. Now that I have my rock lines, I can take a sponge and just press into them.
I want to do this before these lines dry.
Next, take some brown paint and take a sponge and just dip the sponge into the paint and then sponge it right on top of our lunchbox. We don't need lots of brown, just a few sponge marks here and there. There we go. And then just spread them out just a little bit with the dry end of the sponge. Let's go back to some more gray, except this time we'll use a different shade. I'll take another sponge and just add in the gray. Now we'll add more gray than brown, and it's okay to layer over top of the brown, because we'll still see it a bit later.
After the gray paint dries, you'll see the brown underneath.
Here's another cool little trick. I'll take a little paintbrush and add some black paint onto the sponge that already has the gray paint on it. There we go. Now I'll blend that into my rock. That gives it some really nice detail. Now I'll use this dry sponge to really work those colors in.
That's definitely starting to look like a real rock.
Okay, check this out. This is the best part.
I'm going to take a toothbrush,
Dip it in the black paint. With my thumb, I'm just gonna spray the paint. See how it speckles across the rock? Oh, cool. I'll clean the brush off a little bit. And this time, I'll use white. Nobody's gonna wanna brush their teeth with this brush after I'm done. Oh, I dripped a bit of white on there. And that's all right, because I can take my sponge and just work it right in. And it looks great. Now, once you've used these techniques on the whole thing, let it dry.
check this out.
When it dries, you can add a thin layer of white glue. I added glue to this one to give it a polished, rock-like finish. That's why it looks like it's shiny. And look, it still opens. Now I'm ready to go to lunch. Now where's that hat I put into my trunk of junk a million years ago? Ah, here it is. Oh, it turned into a rock. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
You can rockify your own lunchbox. Start by crumpling up paper and tape it to the top of your lunchbox with masking tape. Cover the whole lunchbox with masking tape, but don't tape it shut. Now you can paint. I started with a base of gray paint. Rocks aren't usually all one color though. They're made up of a bunch of different colors. So I like to paint with different colors too. A few great tips. You can add darker lines to outline the rock shapes. Dabbing paint with a sponge works well for creating a rock look. And you can spatter on paint with a toothbrush to make your rock look speckled. Paint a thin layer of glue on your rock lunchbox to give it a shiny rock-like finish. If you want to make your own rock lunchbox, we have this project and lots more at the Artzooka.com website.
Art? Artzooka Challenge! Hi, Jeremy. My name's Claudia. What can you make using small pieces of wood?
Thanks, Claudia. That's a good one. Let's see what I can Artzooka.
Rectangles, circles, squares. I've got an idea. It's a dog.
It's all in how you look at it. There are pictures, and then there are Artzooka pictures, and that's where my scanner comes in. Scanners take pictures with light. It's taking a picture right now. See the light move? When I use my scanner, I try to think of the light as the sun. It's nice to look at the light, but not directly into the light, because it can kind of hurt your eyes. When the scanner light is moving, slowly move your hand with it. Try moving it slower than the light.
If I move it slowly in the same direction that the light is going, it'll make my hand look long and skinny.
It makes my hand look all stretched out.
Now try this. When the light is going in one direction, move your hand slowly in the other direction.
It makes your hand look all squishy. This is my favorite. Check out what happens when I move my fingers around like this. If I turn it this way, it kind of looks like water ripples.
Using a scanner is a fun way to turn art into Artzooka. We have lots of cool ideas like this at artzooka.com.
Artzooka!
And now time for an Artzooka safety message. Remember, when making a food collage face, you may not want to use pepper.
An Artzooka Challenge!
For my Artzooka Recycle Challenge, I challenged myself to make something out of a plastic cake mold and
An egg carton.
I put them in a movie starring Paper Bag. Come on and see what I made. I also put something else in my movie.
A garlic clove.
See if you can spot where I put it. Now, sit back and enjoy Cinema Artzooka.
Here's the cake mold, and here's the egg carton. Can you guess what it's going to be? Yes, it's a tractor. Now let's see it in a movie.
Did you like the movie?
I made a tractor out of a plastic cake mold and an egg carton.
Hey, did you spot the garlic clove? Take another look at where I put it. Here's my challenge to you. Make something out of a
Plastic cake mold and an egg carton.
Be really creative, anything goes. And when you do, take a picture and email it to me at the Artzooka website, artzooka.com. What will you Artzooka today?